It's time for another Southern California real estate market update. We're going to cover Los Angeles, Orange County, Ventura, San Diego, San Bernardino, and Riverside. We have an amazing update on median home price that 5 of 6 counties are not acting the way they should be. In fact, all of Southern California is not acting the way it should when it comes to the real estate market. We're going to cover single family and multifamily properties that have closed, properties that have gone under contract, and the number of listings that are coming throughout Southern California. And we pull this data straight from the multiple listing immediately after the month of October close, so we can bring you this data faster than anywhere else. You can wait 30 to 60 days to read in the national news, or you can hear it right here, right now. Hey there, Christian Walsh with Wire Associates. We're real estate agents based in Southern California, helping tenants and landlords and buyers and sellers navigate this crazy real estate market in California and beyond. And it is time for our every 2-week real estate market update. So if you're ready to dive into the Southern California housing market update, hit that like button and let's get started. And here we go, starting with the Orange County single family data. So this is single family condos and townhomes for the month of October, and it's a crazy month. Things do not look like what you're hearing in the news right now, and that's because they're behind. They're looking at old data, July, August, September, and they may not even be in September. Case-Shiller, it's 2 months lagging for data, so they're looking at old data. On this channel, you're getting the data as it comes. So you're getting the October 2021 data right as October 2021 finished up. And it is a crazy, crazy end to October and a crazy fourth quarter that we have going in Southern California. So what's interesting to see, because we're looking at year-over-year data, can't look at just 1 year-over-year, because we're looking at the COVID data, which was crazy. You can see in most of these counties that we had a peak in escrows, we had a peak in listings, and we had a peak in sales. So to look at year-over-year data does not help. That's why we're going back to 2017 to see if we can see more of a pattern. But here's what you see for October in Orange County. We've got the twist, and by the twist I mean we have more properties going under contract than we have properties that are being listed. So in fact, we have a record, absolute record low number of properties being listed in October. And we have a record high for properties going under contract. Other than last year, more properties went under contract. But as you can see in the previous years, that was a blip in the data due to COVID. So we have a crazy seller's market. In many respects, you could say that it's much more of a seller's market than it was last year. Even though there were more properties going under contract, you had more to choose from. And you can see that right now, based on the number of properties that are being listed, there is nothing to choose from in Orange County. So it's still a crazy, crazy seller's market. In Los Angeles, we also see the trend of record low number of listings. And you can see that the number of properties in escrow those numbers are still high. Year over year, there isn't much of a drop. So this is going to lead to much more of a seller's market in Los Angeles. We haven't seen these numbers this close for new listings and properties going under contract in Los Angeles. So the first time we're seeing it. So unless we get more inventory or buyer demand drops off, it's going to turn into even crazier seller's market in LA. And Riverside, you can see similar thing where we are still up above numbers for pending sales and closings as compared to the previous 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, we're down year over year, not a surprise, but record low inventory. We keep seeing this. Record low new listings coming to the market. People aren't listing. San Bernardino, we have the twist. So you can see here that the listings and escrows are matching numbers. So that means that basically every new listing that came was theoretically put under contract, minus a few that were left over from last month, but there wasn't much. So San Bernardino has accelerated and has become an even crazier seller's market year over year, even crazier than last year at this time. In Ventura, we noticed a trend of fewer properties going under contract. In fact, there were record low numbers of properties going under contract. And it is down year over year, but not at a record low. It's actually more in line with the typical market in Ventura County for number of properties going under contract, but we can see very low inventory. So this is definitely a seller's market. Although what's interesting is the number of properties listed and the number of properties going under contract isn't too dissimilar from 2017. So the market in 2017 in Ventura County is just like the market in 2021 at this time. And San Diego and Orange County have both been running neck and neck for crazy markets for sellers, and record low inventory coupled with those properties going under contract. Again, a fall off year over year, but we're still up at a record level other than last year for properties going under contract. So San Diego, you can see it's got that twist, crazy seller's market. And don't forget our email newsletter subscribers. There's a link below for those who aren't yet subscribed. They're gonna get all these charts this Sunday. And here's one of the few spots you can get the multifamily sales numbers for Southern California as well. We've got these broken down by county as well, and this is 2 units or more. So you can see that this has continued to evolve. We did have a point in time where the market was down for multifamily because you couldn't do evictions and tenants weren't paying, but the market has returned. And all of these counties except for LA, the eviction moratorium is over in California. And you can see here that we have a very tight market for inventory and number of properties going under contract. So we very much have a seller's market in Orange County for multifamily. And Los Angeles, this has continued to surprise me. There is still an eviction moratorium in place at the LA City and the LA County level. There's 2 different eviction moratoria, 1 at each, and those are still in place. You can see though, despite the eviction moratorium, we have a record number of properties that have gone under contract, and you can see that we have a record low number of properties that have been listed. So the low listings could be a result of the eviction moratorium, but the record number of properties going under contract, quite frankly, I'm surprised. Investors still want to place their funds before the end of the year if they're doing a 1031 exchange. It's not required, but a lot of investors want to do that. So that could be a result of why we're seeing an increase in contracts. And we will see that in some of the other counties in SoCal, we're seeing this increase. And speak of the devil, so Riverside, we've seen a dramatic increase in the number of properties going under contract. And this is, I can attribute to investors chasing returns. So as the cap rates have been compressed in LA and Orange County, the investors are looking for other places to get a higher return, and that tends to be places like Riverside, San Bernardino. And you can see here that we have the twist. We have more properties that have gone under contract than properties have been listed. So this is very much a seller's market in Riverside, and again, no eviction moratorium in Riverside. In San Bernardino, we have a healthy number of properties going under contract, but we have a big drop in the number of properties listed. So investors are holding on to them in San Bernardino. So you can see here a twist, and you can see a crazy seller's market for San Bernardino. In fact, maybe this is what's happened to LA. Maybe those investors that were initially looking in Riverside and San Bernardino saw the crazy market and just came back to LA. So that's entirely possible reason that we're seeing the increase in LA. In Ventura, tough to get much out of the data with such small numbers. And San Diego has been another crazy market for multifamily. You can see here that we have the twist as well, record low number of listings. So not a lot of new listings coming throughout Southern California for multifamily or single family. A lot of inventory has dried up. So we are still very, very much in a seller's market in Southern California due to lack of inventory. Now, we expected things to slow down in fourth quarter, but this is not looking like a typical seasonal fourth quarter. And it is time for the big old median home price surprise. Every month we wrap up the data and look at the median home price. And we saw that roughly in June there was a peak and values for the median home price started to drop. That is not unusual. It is very typical. Seasonally, values peak in the summer and drop. But we have a surprise in the data that we did not expect. And for every one of the counties we're covering, except for LA, we had things level off, and in fact, in some go down for median home price. You can see that trend in the blue line, which is Orange County. But lo and behold, every county except for Los Angeles, there's an increase in the median home price. And this is not what typically happens. You can see here, these are more typical years in the, well, except for 2020. We leave 2020 out. That was not a typical year. But typically values peak in the summer and then continue to drop through the holidays and then take back off in the spring. This is atypical. And again, what you're hearing in the news is a month to 2 months behind. You're not going to hear about this for another 30 to 60 days. But you're hearing it here first. Southern California median home price increases. This is for condos, townhomes, single-family homes in these respective counties. You can see that we have hit a new peak in Orange County and same thing in Riverside. And our other Southern California counties for the median home price. And here's what's interesting. So you can see that in Ventura County, we actually still had our peak in June. And same thing with San Diego. But there was a drop, and it was a big drop in Ventura. And it hasn't peaked again. But it has come back up. And that's what's interesting. That's what's unique this time of the year. This is not supposed to happen. It is supposed to continue to drop. We're seeing an increase in 5 of the 6 counties that we've covered. And in several of the counties, you're actually getting a new price peak for the median home price. That's San Bernardino, Orange County, and Riverside. And the others, other than LA, it has continued to go up after dropping. And that is not what's supposed to happen this time of year. So yet again, crazy market in Southern California. We are not in a typical seasonal shift yet, like we would had in all the years past. It is, other than 2020, it has been disrupted and remains disrupted. Let us know in the comments below if you were surprised by this market update. Why do you think Southern California is acting so different from the rest of what you're hearing about in the national news? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our free email newsletter so that you get all the charts that you saw in this video, plus a whole lot more content that we'll keep bringing your way. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we appreciate you.